Hello again and welcome back. This is like part four, maybe five, three, at least four, I would say, of the cell shading. And oh boy, have we made progress this time. Oh goodness. Let's just F11 this. So as you can see, things have outlines. That is the biggest update. Additionally, the amount of lighting on things due to how the globes work is fantastic. So let's start making our way in. Just once again, you kind of get a lot of weird effects due to the outline, but obviously, of course, the intent is not to be able to jump over to these things, so you can't. But our globe lights have these point lights in them now that are allowing them to do this. There are some really wonderful videos I watched for the outline, as well as the cell shading. The cell shading was only like a 10-minute video, so maybe that took me like 30 minutes to do. This, on the other hand, was a very big endeavor to get all this outlining in, which also outlines the normals, which is why things kind of look weird. Uh, do, 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 do. This is the big old chamber room in its proper fashion. We have all these different holes, which you can fall down through. Down here is the coal ring in its proper fashion. Due to the amount of fire, it is being properly lit. We also have this nice little wall over here, nice rubber wall to just kind of cave you in. You can see the holes up there, hole over there. Everything is going as you want it to. Nice bit of fire, which I might come back and hopefully replace one day with some more cartoony fire. Got these icy stairs situation. Within the world lore, it's meant to be fire that can't be extinguished, but I've also included some ways of just heading back. So boom, that'll send us back up here. We can go through again. If you wanted to, all these holes are functional. All the holes are functional. This hole's functional. Yeah. We're just gonna do that at least like once more, just for the sake of sanity. Before we start going into what was the main project this week, which is really just getting four of the six rooms done. Well, I guess if we include this as a room, five of the seven. Even notably, this small, tiny little hole you can fall in, which just took quite a bit of coding with just overlap events. And when you're overlapping, the collision for the entire dome turns off and has like a delay of half a second for when for when overlap ends to allow you to have time to fall through even the small one, because otherwise you're running into issues where you're just landing on the roof, and that was a big old deal. I realized I could probably just have a button like R set to open levels, but yeah, once again, now you can see people have name tags. This is Vulture's room. It is not a room that has been complete yet. This will be one of the messier rooms per se. It's going to have a lot more going on because it is a populated room. This is Banshee's room. Has a lot going on. Has actual models and everything. These sort of bear trap-esque mufflers. Because they're meant to be mufflers within the comics, but I decided just to make them way bigger. They have these nice little amount of teeth marks and everything on them. Also, a picture of his mom's over there. Big old cylinder. Big old thing that he would roll generally in front of the door just so people don't have to hear him screaming because his voice is really loud. Skullbreaker's another one of the people's rooms we got to do today. We have a kill the cook thing going on over here with these pans. I need to clearly fix that one or something. We got this nice little photo on the wall. Got some rings over here. Lots of rings in all honesty. A little bit of moss and whatnot on that. Big old cauldron, which I don't think you can stand. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. You can step in it a little bit. You can step in it a little bit. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. I might actually go back and just change the collisions on that so you can stand in that. Because honestly, very nice. Shadow Master. One of the less interesting rooms for sure. Just has these kind of two sword holders, or at least that's the intent of them. And then otherwise, if you go over here, you can read his resignation letter. Yeah, this little like letter down here. When you go away, it boom goes away. But if you come over here, find yourself a good angle, you can kind of read through his entire resignation letter, assuming you can read cursive. or whatever mix of cursive and normal this is, because I realize it's not all cursive. It kind of looks all squiggly. But it is, for the most part, legible. Just kind of put that there so you could actually read the letter. Because otherwise, that letter's just there for an aesthetic and doesn't really serve that. This is the sociopath room. Oh my goodness. So I don't know for anyone who's read um, Helsing, but this is heavily based on Alexander Anderson's room. That he has like, well, it's just books everywhere, and this is not even doing justice to Alexander Anderson. Alexander Anderson has so many more books than this. But yeah, nice little random setup of books. Some are falling, some are just this giant amount of books in a cube. Then we have this room, which is once again another blank room that's still to be decorated. This one should be jigsaws, so that's gonna have a lot of wires and whatnot. Yeah, uh, that is weirdly enough everyone's rooms that we have done so far. Just gonna do a little bit of more walking around. Vulture. You can go back up the ramp if you really want to. Currently has not been assimilated to the rest of the scene, so there's no real point. But otherwise, you can kind of come back down this way, go back over here, and we'll go down this third hole because I know we went down the other two for sure. But we just whee, come back in here, back in the fire. Interesting how much the blue kind of glows off of you. Oh, whoa, that's a cool effect. It is very interesting how much reflections kind of don't work anymore due to the fact that Lumens has to. I'm pretty sure Lumens turned off. Yeah, that is everything this time around. We had a bunch of new assets. F11. Honestly, too many assets. Just so many. Let me just. We. If you come through here now, this is the amount. Oh goodness. This is the amount of geometry we have. Some of these are just badly imported textures. Some of these folders have even more. If we go to textures, we have all these folders and all these additional ones on the outside. So just there's so much going on. Oh, close that, honestly. Yeah, just save selected. The amount of time put in this week is ridiculous. Because the things needed for this week was Banshee's room, Brybreaker's room, a mirror texture, which really the mirror texture cannot work anymore due to the fact that how Lumen has been taken out of the scene, and especially if you're using the cell shading at all on it. Shadow Skullbreaker's room, Shadow Master's room, and wall hinges, which were duplicated in a couple different ways to create the basically sword holders and stuff like that. So they all have their different purposes. Um, as you can see, this was going to be a hefty week regardless. Like that's 8, 12, 16, 18. I already predicted 20 hours, which is close to accurate. Like, yeah, we're hitting around there. Like, this is all the things we did this week because we had to also do the post processor. So 24 to 6 to 8, that gets us to probably around 27. So we have certainly put in the hours this week. And then if you look at stuff, we have just if we go to week 6, you have all these things right here. And then all these have all their own stuff with their own separate models and the different textures and everything that they have within them. That's Skullbreakers, which has a ton. Shadow Master has like the least, I'm pretty sure. Riotbreaker has all this going on for him. Book Texture just has the one situation, and then we created multiple versions. Slab Textures, this one just has the additional names as well, just so you can get all that stuff sorted out for it. I guess that was the name slab one. This is the metal hinges. This is Banshee's room, which has quite a bit of his own stuff going on. But yeah. Oh yeah, also a couple different decals and whatnot were made between him and Riotbreaker, but that is everything this time around. I made it short so we hadn't had to go through everything, and also I have other places to be, but oh boy, did things advance this time.